Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Gene Curl, and today I will be reading from my journal that I kept while I was a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, also known as the Mormons. I am reading where I left off in my last episode, so this is far in. At this point, this is more than halfway through my mission. So if you want to get the full experience of what my mission was like, go back and start with the first episode. With that said, I'm going to start off with reading where I left off in the last episode. Friday the 14th of May 2004. Mostly clear, but it rained hard last night and hard tonight. It was hot with light wind. This morning we went street contacting. We met a lot more people than we did yesterday, but we were not able to teach. We talked to Sister Ian about picking up John tomorrow. We had lunch at the pad, and then we visited all investigators and then Tracton. We had an appointment with Kara, but she dogged us, so I spent a few minutes calling people. We went to see inactive people. One of the people we met, Barney, has been inactive for years. Both him and his wife are also a member. Both him and his wife, who is also a member, would have no problem with us teaching the children. I see a lot of potential with this family. We had dinner with the L family, and Sister L was telling us about her Navajo mission in the 60s. After dinner, we went to the home of Brother K, the ward mission leader, to get the keys to the church. When we were leaving, I made a noise and woke the dog up, and she bit me. This is the third time a dog has bit me on my mission. Brother Key's dog is usually a gentle dog, so I think that I just startled it. We came home at 20:30 to plan out tomorrow's zone tract. Saturday the 15th of May 2004. Mostly cloudy. It rained hard last night and this morning, and it rained lightly most of the day, warm with light wind. For those of you who don't know what a zone tract is, a zone tract is when all of the missionaries in the zone will tract in one area. And in this case, everyone in the zone was tracting in my area. So I had to pick streets for different companionships to tract. We had zone tract in the Awayulimu ward. All the other missionaries were late, so I thought that they were not coming because of the rain, but finally all of the zone showed up. 5 discussions were taught, 3 by the sisters, but none of them were taught by Elder R or I. I went with Elder O, and we almost taught one, but almost doesn't count. We, Elder R and I, had lunch at the pad. I cooked Mexican food for us. After lunch, we tried to see a few single names and inactive families, and kept visiting them until our dinner at 1600. We had dinner with the R family, and then went to see David G, but he was not home. We got ready and went to the tabernacle for stake conference. John came with Brother Ian. Stake conference was pretty good, especially the stake presidencies. When we got home, we planned tomorrow. We did not get home until 21:30. Sunday, 16th of May 2004. Clear, hot, light wind. Brother Key invited us over for breakfast at 7. But after breakfast we had correlation. We went to the tabernacle early, and I volunteered myself to fold the programs. After a while, I had the F family kids help. After all the programs were folded, I helped the other elders to give them out. And then after a while, I went to the overflow room and gave them out. While handing out programs in the gym, I met Gabby G from the Kapolei ward. She told me that she finally decided to go to the ward that she lives in. One of the speakers today was a 10-year-old girl named Marissa K. She spoke on prayer and did a very good job. She did so well, in fact, that I think she did better than a lot of the adult speakers that I have heard before. I was really impressed, so after conference I told her that she gave the best youth talk that I have ever heard. We ate lunch at the pad and then went to follow up on a man found in the zone tract, but he did not have time. So when we were walking back to the truck, we saw Taylor sitting there at the park, so we went to talk to him. He is one of the guys that always sits there, and I have often talked to him. Today I decided to teach him. I started teaching the first discussion. Elder R would not teach his principles, so I taught the whole discussion and then committed him to read the Book of Mormon. While we were walking back to the truck, Elder R asked me how I thought the discussion went. I told him that it went okay, but it would have been better if he had taught his part of the discussion. We talked about what we do normally is the discussion was separated into principles, and if I started on, say, the even-numbered principles, then my companion would teach the odd numbers, or vice versa. If they started, I would teach the even numbers. And but he just stood there and let me teach the whole discussion. We talked about it in the car, and Elder R told me that he did not teach because I started the discussion too quick. I really could not understand the concern. I wanted to go teach more people, but Elder R did not, so we came back to the pad and talked about it and had some role plays. We were pretty sure that we resolved the concern, so we went out. We visited part member families before dinner, and they wanted to have us for dinner, so we set up an appointment with them, the K family. We had dinner with the T family. She told us all about her mission and to the Marshall Island. The rest of the night we had a hard time catching anyone home. Monday the 17th of May, 2004. Clear, hot, light wind. We met the zone at the tabernacle and helped to tally up all the questionnaires that were filled out during the last mission tour for Elder R, the area president. When we finished, Elder Robertson and I went shopping, and we both purchased pocket knives at Sports Authority. I wrote Mom, the B family, Heidi, and I wrote my aunt and uncle. I wrote Grandma, and I thought that it would be funny to have a card to the Binghams, but then beat them home, so I mailed one. Oh, they were the senior missionaries at the worked at the mission office, and they were going home, so I sent them a card to beat them home. We drove to Kailua today so that I could see Dr. M. He worked on my teeth for about an hour. He asked me a few questions about Idaho and wanted to know if the crazy people really live up north. I told him that they do. I have to see him once more. We had an appointment with the K family, inactive, for a family home evening, but some of them were sick, so it had to be canceled. We visited a few people and then went to the A family for dinner. We had Filipino food. Elder R did not want to, but since he volunteered earlier, he ate balut, and I took pictures. Balut is a fertile chicken egg that is boiled like a hard-boiled egg, and you put it in your mouth and you spit out you crack it open and dump it in your mouth, and then it's kind of soft, and then but you spit out the beak and the feet. After dinner, the bishop had us to help bless his son, so I anointed and Bishop A blessed. When we left, we visited the C and O family. She did not take his name. When we walked up, Sister C was trying to scare her husband, who was inside the house, but I did not know, so I asked, "Do you need some help?" Brother O, not a member, came out, and we all talked a while. We got home at 21:30. Yeah, that's right. We forgot to get home at the planning time, so we planned from 21:30 to 2200. Tuesday, the 18th of May, 2004. Clear, hot, light wind. We had an appointment with the lady from Zone Tract named Puna, but she dogged us, so we just got gas and went to a district meeting. It was pretty good. After the meeting, I went and talked with Elder L for a while. He told me that Pocatello, Idaho is his favorite town. I had lunch at the pad and then went street contacting. We happened to meet John and talked with him for a while and set up an appointment. We were going to go tracting but decided to see Kara and when we left her house, there was no more time. When we first came to her house, she handed me the Book of Mormon and said, "I think I am through." We talked with her for a while and found out that she did not understand what she had read, so we read it with her and taught her a discussion. She agreed to read more and let us share more later. We met Rodney and Melissa at the S family's house, and Brother and Sister S taught the first after baptism discussion, and they did it so blasted boring that I almost fell asleep. Also, they said a few things that were a little false, and Brother S tried to say that I was wrong about something that I mentioned from the Bible. When Moses came down from the mountain the first time, Brother S said that it was not the Ten Commandments that he had. Brother Key told us that we could have it at his house, so I think that I'll take him up on it and offer the next time that we set it up after baptism discussion. We had dinner with the K family. I shared the dinner message. Elder R tried to make friends with the psychotic little dog, but it did not want him to make friends and tried to bite him. I gave up on that dog a long time ago. After dinner, we visited the B family, who was a part-member family. On our way into our pad, I decided to talk to Brother L about getting the supplies, and he wants to go on Friday. Both Brother L and I want to get it fixed before I get transferred. Wednesday, the 19th of May, 2004. Clear, hot, light wind. We had a week planned until a little after 12, and then had lunch. I received a letter or a card from Erin, and she told me that there has been a lot of changes to the ward. A lot of people has moved out, and she is the new Relief Society president for the 8th Ward. We went to Dr. L's office for Elder R and did not get back into the Wailima area until after 16:30. When we got to the pad, Elder L asked me to rub his medication on his back. I did, but told him that he really owes me. We followed up on a few people from Zone Tract, and then we went to see Simeona. We went to see and talked with the non-member husband. He told us that he wishes that he could have the conviction that we do, but does not, and cannot commit to anything until he does. We talked for almost an hour and taught a sneaky discussion. The sneaky discussion is where we don't bring out our pamphlets or anything, and we teach them the principles of the discussion without bringing out the pamphlets or anything, because we kind of sneak the discussion in so that they don't get scared off and not let us teach. We then went to the K family for dinner. The K family are inactive, and the only ones who lives there is the 4 K brothers. Brother K brought us upstairs and gave us food and left us. After we ate, we talked to everyone in the garage, and we taught the Aloha discussion and committed him to read the Book of Mormon. The drunk non-member brother tried to give us a hard time, so Brother K made him leave us alone and walked us to our vehicle. I told him that we would love to talk to his brother when he is not drunk. We ended the night with a visit to Brother S, the ward clerk. When we got home, it took us a long time to finish our planning because we kept getting off subject and laughing, etc. After we closed, Elder R was telling me all about his very uncomfortable experience at the doctor's office before his mission while getting a physical. I told him that his story was a little off, a little crazy. Thursday, the 20th of May, 2004. Mostly clear, but it rained pretty hard early this morning. Hot with light wind. We got up at 05:30 and ran for a little while and then came back. It was raining while we were running. We could not go far because I have never been much of a runner. In fact, my philosophy has always been that there is no need to run unless there is something or someone after you that you know you can outrun. This morning, Sister L called and asked me to go to Queen's Hospital to give a blessing. The lady was an inactive member from the Big Island, and we talked for a while, and then I anointed an Elder R bless. When we got back to our area, we got a safety inspection on the truck, and then had lunch at the pad. We talked to Tolly and set him up as a team up for when we teach John. We tried to see a few single names, and then we tracked it for about an hour and a half. One lady we taught about half of the first discussion before she decided that she did not want to hear anymore. Just before we left this lady's house, another lady walked by and told us that we should see the people up the lane at the top of the stairs. When we knocked on the door and told the lady that answered the door, she said, "What a bitch," and then told us that she is not interested. A little while later, we tracked it into a man from Bulgaria, and he said that his wife is a local and a member. We set up a time to come back. When we went to the YMCA to see David G., he was not there, so we waited a while, and the office told us that he'd just called and said that he was on his way, so we waited for him. When he got there, we talked for about an hour and said that he was the only rebellious one of the whole family. His family is really active, and his father is serving his 5th mission. David wants to repent, but is afraid that he would get excommunicated because of some of the stuff that he has done. I shared a lot of scriptures with him, and he told us that if he can get off work, that he will come to church this Sunday. We visited Gerard for a while and then came home for a night plan. We should have come home a little earlier so that we could eat dinner. Friday, the 21st of May, 2004, mostly clear, hot, light wind. Pretty early this morning, Brother L came over and told me that he would have to cancel going to get supplies today, but that he would go pick them up tomorrow. I am starting to get a little worried that I will not get to fix the pad before I get transferred, but I really hope that I can fix it. We went tracting and street contacting this morning, but we were not able to teach anyone. We had lunch at the pad, but we came home for lunch late because we talked with the drunk guys and talked to a Chinese lady that sells shaved ice. We got a phone call telling us that we needed to give Brother F a blessing. We stopped by to give him a blessing, and he told us that he fell asleep at the wheel 2 days ago and had an accident. Elder R anointed and I blessed. We tried to follow up on people, and we picked up our dinner from Sister P and ate it at the pad. We ate quick so that we could play a game of chess. We did not have time to finish the game, so we left it for tonight and went out for a while, but then decided to come back and kneel in prayer and ask for help to know what we should do. After the prayer, I had a lot more ideas, but we still did not teach anyone. We made it back to the pad by 2100 and had night plan. After we closed, we finished our chess game, and I put Elder Robertson in checkmate. Saturday, the 22nd of May, 2004, clear, hot, light wind. By the time I get transferred, Elder R will owe me big time. I really hate running, but I have been getting up earlier than I usually do to run with him, and when he went to see Dr. L, she gave him some nasty-smelling medicine to get rid of a rash, and he has been having me put it on his back for him, and also he is almost always late. Late for devotional, late to leave the pad in the morning, and never ready to leave on time after lunch. I don't think that I'll get even with him, but that is okay because the Savior told us not to do favors for those that can't repay us, but those who can't, and then we will be rewarded in heaven. Besides, I don't mind if people owe me, but I try to always make sure that I never owe anyone else. We had zone tracked in the Manoa area, and I tracked it with Elder S, and we did not have any success at all. I had to wait almost an hour for the other elders to get back with Elder R so that I could go to our appointment with John. We were 30 minutes late to John, and then when we got there, Tolly was waiting for us, so we went and read the Book of Mormon with John. We found out that John has a smoking problem, so we set up a time to come by and do the Stop Smoking program with him. Tolly volunteered to give him a ride to church tomorrow. We finally got home for lunch at 14:30, and Brother L had left some supplies on the doorstep. And there was a package for Elder R and a letter for me from my friend Kayleen, who's serving mission. After lunch, we visited old investigators, etc., until dinner time, and then we went to our pad at the S family, and the S family dropped off food for us. We played a game of chess while we ate dinner, and I won. After dinner, we went to see single names on the word list. We actually had night plan on time tonight. Wow. Sunday, the 23rd of May, 2004. Mostly clear and hot with a light wind, but it rained lightly today for a little while. Brother K called this morning and asked us to come by to breakfast with him. We had missionary correlation while eating breakfast. Then we went to the church for word correlation. I was a little disappointed because the only two people that we are teaching that came to church was Gerard and Julie P. Not even Rodney, a recent convert, came. After the block, we talked with a young man who had served his mission in Russia. It is crazy. My friend Brittany S., who is serving in the Russia St. Petersburg mission, will be home in 3 months. Perhaps I should get her address and write her before she goes home. And then again, maybe not. She has never written me. We had lunch at the pad and then tried to catch a few old investigators, etc. The only one that we really got a hold of was a man named Mike, and he told us that we could come back. When we tried to see Kevin, a young man who the sisters taught on Zone Tract, a man opened the door without letting us say a word and told us that he was not interested and slammed the door. Elder R wanted to knock again so that he could tell the man that we were there to see Kevin. I told him that he could if he wanted, but that I did not see anything good coming from it, so he left the note instead. We went to get our dinner calendar from Sister R, and she gave us a lot of food to take home. Canned food and the like. We had dinner just before this with the F family. I'll write down how to make a few of the Tongan things because I don't think I'll be likely to remember them when I get home. Tongan drink. Use a fork to juice some fruit, watermelon, apple, pineapple, mango, etc. Then add coconut milk. If it is not available, use half and half. Add water, sugar, and ice. Don't use too much coconut. Put foil in a pan and line the foil with spinach. Then add any meat you like. Fold the foil over, leaving only a small hole, and add coconut milk, and then seal the foil back for 30 minutes. Bake for 30 minutes. When you make an emu, make sure that the rocks are hot. Then put the food wrapped in foil. Use sticks. Keep leaves about 4 inches above the food. Add leaves, etc., and cover it with dirt. After we visited the R family, we went to Brother K's house and then went home for night plan. Elder R was acting crazy and not helping with the plan, so I planned out tomorrow by myself. Monday, the 24th of May, 2004. Clear, hot, light wind, very light sprinkles early, rain after dark. We were all supposed to follow the zone leaders to Milaloni for the mission tour, but I caught every red light and lost them. Elder R knew how to get there, but the sisters did not, so they asked me to make sure that I didn't lose them. I made sure that I did not lose the sisters. The mission tour was good, but I won't say much about it because I took notes. Elder Robbins, the area president, presided. He had us all say what we love about President and Sister Willis. After the mission tour, we all sang Aloha Oe to the Willises. I had two mission presidents on my mission. President Willis was my first mission president, and he went home. He was going home, and we were getting a new mission president. Elder R and I got back to our area in time to get changed for our service and to eat lunch. We went to have service at the B family's house. Sister B wanted to erect a shed today for her, but there was no possible way because there was no place prepared for the shed. When I told Sister B that she got upset and said that she would do it herself. She did not really understand what was to happen before the shed can go up. Brother B told us that she is always that way. I told them that when they have everything ready to call us and we will help. We gave 2.5 hours of service and did not get anything accomplished. I hate to do service for people when they are not quite sure what they want done and they are not ready for the service. When we went to teach Tiffany, but she had us rescheduled, so we went home so that Elder R could take a shower. We then went visiting old investigators. One house that we stopped at just before dinner, the man was friendly but told us that he does not agree with our church because he read all about us in a book called The God Makers. So I explained a little about the man who wrote the book and that he later said that it was not true and later made another book to take back what he had said in The God Makers. He told us that we could come back another time. That was a rumor I heard. I don't actually think that the guy that wrote God Makers actually took back what he said. But I had heard somewhere that he did, and I just started telling everybody that he did. While walking to the truck, Elder R was upset and told me that I should not have said anything about the anti-book. I told him that I could not just let him think that we are devil worshippers or something. Elder R told me that I should not have told him about it because the Spirit told him that it was not the time or place. So I told him that he was obviously listening to the wrong Spirit because the Holy Spirit told me to help him with his concern, as we are trained to do in the missionary guide. Elder R wanted to say something about it, but I told him to let it drop so that we would not be upset at each other when we went to dinner. We had dinner with the R family. The family is mostly active, but Brother R seldom ever comes to church. During dinner, he was telling us about how he did not get along with his mission president, and his president looked for any reason to send him home but could not find any. When I asked if we could share a message, he said no. He gets a little edgy whenever I try to slip something spiritual in. We had 15 minutes until we had to go to the plan, so I decided to stop by and give the For the Strength of Youth book to the K family for them to give it to Chelsea's auntie. I tried to leave quick, but we were there for about 35 minutes. When we got back to our pad, Brother L talked with us for a few, so we did not get to plan until 21:30. Well, that will be it for this episode. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to comment down below, and I will do my best to answer your questions, or either in the next video or in the comments themselves. Again, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.